What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at Playdead's Inside, and this is a demented game which takes place underneath a demented world, and it seems to be a bunch of humans who are enslaved by a higher power, a higher government, and they've taken over with mind control and such. But furthermore, and more importantly, we're going to talk about real world problems and what exactly the truth is, or my truth, my opinion, if you give a shit, but you probably don't, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that today. So, let's start first with racism and how it is so disgusting to continue to call every person, white person in particular, racist. Just because I believe a certain way, just because I support Trump, just because I don't do this or I do this, you're going to call me a racist. And that's just, that in itself is ignorance and racist, and it's just unbelievable that people believe that way. And like just today, I'm arguing with somebody online, and we're discussing Trump's taxes and how they think that they've paid more in taxes in 15 years than Trump has. And that's just unbelievable. I mean, the man alone, if he didn't pay a dime in income tax, he's paid more in sales tax than we have, poor people or people making a decent salary in a year. I mean, it's just crazy that people believe what they believe. But furthermore, I just don't understand how the world got to what it is today. I understand the incidents that happened, and I'm not dismissing anything. I'm not giving my opinion on any of the incidents. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. I'm just saying, how did the world get to where it is now? Because it's absolutely disgusting to watch this go down. And as I'm just sitting here watching the debate, I mean, how do you expect to win? And you just might, and that's the world we live in, but you're going to win a debate by defiling your opponent in every turn and not giving the ways that you're going to help the country, that you're going to help the American people, the poor, the lower class. How are you going to help us? You're not. You're just defiling the president. And I'm not kissing Trump's ass. I'm not saying he's the best that ever did it. Hell, I'm not even saying I agree with everything he does. But he's our president, and it is what it is. And he's not promised 3 years. He's not promised 3.5 years. He's promised 4. And within those 4 years, if he's got to re-elect another Supreme Court justice, then that's just what has to happen, because that's what the people wanted. They elected Trump by electoral college, not by popular vote. And that's just the way it goes. And I don't understand how people want to change the rules just because it doesn't go their way. Or we live in a society where if you're white, you're racist, and you're not allowed to say anything because at the end of the day, you're white and your privilege is just overbearing and too much and shining, and you just don't even know it. And this notion of privilege, like, where does that come from? You know, I say, well, I've never been handed anything. Well, it doesn't matter. You're white because you're not picked out in a crowd of criminals where they think you're being suspicious because you have a certain skin tone, which is black. Like, no, I'm not picked out in a crowd of criminals because I'm not a criminal. 12% of the population is black, and of those 12%, I don't know the exact percent that make up the male black population, but of those male black population, 50% or more is making up the violent crime in America. Now, I'm not saying that whites don't commit violent crime. I'm not saying that every black person who's ever been suspected of anything is committing a crime, period. But I cannot disagree with facts. And if you're someone who can, well, then you're living in a reality that just isn't a reality. It's a false imagination inside of your head that just isn't so. And I'm sorry. If you can't agree with what's right, then you just can't agree with anything. I mean, if we're going to make up statistics, and just because you say, okay, someone proved me wrong, well, I can't prove you wrong because your statistics is a lie, well, then that makes you automatically correct. No. We're not going to say that just because the New York Times put out a post saying that Trump released his tax documents, or they got his tax documents, which, by the way, is illegal if they have legally obtained his tax documents, saying he only paid $750 within the 2016-2017 tax year. Like, that's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd, especially given the fact that he's given back his $200,000 check, or his presidency check, every year. And if you give that 4 years, 2 times 4 is 8, which is $800,000 he's given back. I mean, he's the government. He doesn't pay back himself. What do you want him to pay taxes on himself? Is he going to go into his pocket and pay himself? And no, I'm not that, gullible, that stupid, and I know that's not exactly how it works, but I mean, come on, people. The dude's giving back $800,000 if he hasn't given back a dime in 4 years. I want to know the last time you've got off the couch long enough to put up those potato chips. When's the last time You tried to build your credit score so your future can be better. When's the last time that you got up and did a damn thing? Well, if you don't get up and you don't vote, then you won't have a voice.
Then you won't have a voice. Then you won't have a voice.
Stamina Beats.